Hey, today we're talking about the perfect golf takeaway. Now we're going to break it into two categories, specifically for older, or what I like to call the experienced golfer, and then the younger golfer, because there are some distinct differences, and we're going to show you what those are here today. I'm PGA teaching professional Todd Kolb, and I know this, after teaching golf for well over 25 years, the takeaway is probably the most important part of any golf swing. If I can help a student get a good, solid takeaway, I got a pretty good chance of helping them hit good quality golf shots. So let's dive right into this, because this is an important concept. Now, remember, we're going to break this into two categories, kind of the experienced golfer, the older golfer, and the younger golfer. So here we go. Let's dive right into it. Now, I've got a 6-iron. I've got a good solid setup, hopefully, right? Now, when you're set in there, the first thing we're going to talk about, all right, is the direction that the club travels, or the hands specifically travel. So let's talk about traditional or younger golfers. If I got a young golfer who comes in here who's maybe, let's say, 15 to 30 years old, here's what I want to look for. When their hands, okay, move, I want to see their hands start to arc and move kind of to the inside. Notice where my hands moved right there? They move towards my right thigh. See that? Okay? That's the movement that I want to see, because I've got a golfer in front of me who's probably, if they're young, they're probably pretty strong and fit. They got a lot of mobility, and they can move the golf club and create power in a lot of different ways, unlike the experienced golfer, which we're going to talk about here in a second. So, if you're in that younger group, what I want you to look for is your hands are going to start to arc in a little bit. Now, as a golf coach, what I'm really looking for and I'm watching is the butt end of the club right here. Okay? The butt end of the club to my belt buckle. See this? Let's say this distance right here, for sake of discussion, is 10 inches. Doesn't matter what it is. But let's just say it's 10 inches. When they take that club away, I want that distance to say about 10 inches. You can see how I'm doing that right there? You might even be able to see that from face on. Okay, that's the first thing that I'm looking for. Now, what does that do for you? Well, it gets you connected, it keeps things together, it helps your rhythm, tempo, all those types of stuff, and it's just a good, solid position. Now, what about the other side of the equation? What about the experienced golfer, the older golfer? Well, they probably aren't as strong as they used to be, probably don't have the flexibility that they used to have, but they still love to play golf, and they got to create some more speed. So their takeaway should look more like this. With their hands, okay, I want to see their hands work more straight back. See that? Okay. Now notice how this distance, remember it was 10, actually increased a little bit. See how their hands got actually a little bit further away from them. All right. Now you might be asking yourself, why do you want to see that? Well, the reason I want to see that is because I want to see their arms work more straight back and more up. I call it the vertical line swing. If you've watched any of my videos, you've heard us talk a lot about this. This is completely transforming the way older golfers are playing the game. I want to see their hands work more straight back and more up. Now, what does that do for them? Well, they work straight back and it works up. It gives them some length and some freedom to their golf swing. It helps them get the club up to the top and get some length so they can have some distance. So that's the first thing I'm looking for in the takeaway, and the two distinct differences there. So let me share with you another thing that I like to see. And this is common, okay, and I want to see this no matter the age of the golfer, all right? Let's talk about a couple things there. I want to see, okay, the club face, looking at the club face right here, I want to see the club face stay at about a 45-degree angle. See where that club face is at right there? Let's say that's 45. That'd be 0. That's bad. That'd be 90. That's bad. I want to see it at a 45-degree angle. Now, I don't care if it's a senior golfer. I don't care if it's a young golfer. Doesn't matter. I want to see that club face at about that 45-degree angle. And the reason that's important is that gets the club face nice and square. See that? Okay. What I see a lot of older golfers do, okay, older golfers, is they rotate it this way. So if you slice the golf ball, or you hit a lot of shots off the toe of the club, that's where you want to look. You very well could be rotating the club open. So, all right, right there. So that's one thing that I want to see in both takeaways, no matter the difference. Now, if you haven't already, hey, be sure to subscribe to our channel here. Join the family at US Golf TV and leave a comment. I answer all of the comments, whether you agree with me or disagree, that's okay. Okay, even my guy, Nick, behind the camera, he answers some of those questions as well. We love hearing from you. And we're really growing the family here at US Golf TV, helping people play better golf. So let's keep moving in. I know we're going deep dive on this. We're going deep dive on the takeaway. But if you don't get the takeaway right, you're not going to hit good quality golf shots, all right? So we got these two parallels, right? Younger golfer, strong, athletic. We've got the older golfer, still loves the game, maybe doesn't move like they used to move and not as strong, but there's a path for both of you. So we talked about one thing that we want to see in each of them, and we talked about one thing that we want to see that's similar. Now, let's talk about another difference that I like to see. All right, for the younger golfers, they're set in here, right? Okay, you know, if you watch any of my videos, I don't care how old or young you are, I like to see us start with a little bit of weight on the lead foot. But for the younger golfers, they're going to shift to their trail foot, but it's not a huge shift. It's just a mini bump. Okay, it's a mini bump because I want to see their rotation stay just a little bit more centered. See that? So I bump a little bit, but it stays a little bit, it stays pretty centered. Okay? Now the reason they can do that is because they can create a lot of speed and power in a lot of other areas, in verticals and all types of other rotations and things that they can do. And we've done a bunch of videos on how to create club head speed. You could check those out if you're looking for more speed there. But for the younger golfer, right, I want to see a little mini shift, but not a big movement off the ball. Now the experienced golfer, the older golfer, a little bit different. I want to see definitely more movement. So here we are, we're 60, and they're moving. See that? Their head's going to move. See that? I want to see them move. Now, why do I want to see them move? Because I got to get their weight to the trail foot, because that's going to help them get some distance and some power. All right? So that would be another area where, as a golf coach, I'm looking for a couple differences there. Now, hopefully this is making sense. I want to share with you one last thing, and then we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here, because this is probably the most important thing in the takeaway that applies to all golfers. Okay, all golfers. And that is the relationship between the club face and the hands. Okay, so pay attention. This is the gold right here. You've been paying attention this long. This is where you're going to really change it. This is the magic. So when I move that hands back, okay, if I'm a younger golfer, my hands are working here. You know that. Experienced golfer, they're working a little bit there. You know that. The club face is staying at that 45-degree angle. You know that. But the most important thing is that the club head always stays slightly outside the hands. Okay, so let me show you. Here we go. Younger golfer, see where that's at? See where the club head? It's on that side of my hands. Experienced golfer, it's still outside my hands. The death move for all takeaways, all ages, is when you reverse that. When the hands go up and the club goes in. This is, you're destined to slice it, hook it, hit it off the hosel, you name it, you're going to hit those types of shots. So in the takeaway, here we go. I'm an experienced golfer, so I'm going to make the experienced golf swing. Here we go. I'm going to move my hands straight back, club face stays square, outside my hand line. Boom. There it is. So the key to good golf is a good takeaway. This deep dive into the takeaway hopefully helps explain it to you and helps you understand what parallel and what area you should be in.